Hey, everybody. We're going to get started. This is the future of workspace design. Quick panel. If you'd like, come bring your drink over here. We're going to have a quick conversation about the future of work and design. All right. I'm Amanda. I'm the co-founder of Bamboo. We build community workspaces. We have 2 locations, one in downtown Detroit and one in downtown Royal Oak. And I have 2 great friends here who are going to share a little bit about themselves. Ashok and Whitney, why don't you go ahead and introduce us and tell us a little bit about your work?
Thanks, Amanda. My name is Ashok Sivanand. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Integral. We're a software company. We help companies like Ford and May Mobility transition into software companies or grow up as software companies. I've always been excited about downtown offices, whether it's working downtown Toronto, where I'm originally from, and when I moved to Detroit, was very purpose-driven about wanting to make our office in downtown Detroit.
And I'm Whitney Marx. I'm the CEO of MarxModa. We do commercial interior design for businesses, healthcare, and government, as well as higher education. We are headquartered downtown Detroit, also with a location in Lansing.
Hey, Whitney, were you supposed to tell Amanda about the curly hair memo, or was that on me?
So Amanda was supposed to wear her hair curly on the side. We intend to start a hair band. So
Stay tuned.
any joiners in the audience, hit us up afterwards.
We'll have to welcome him in. Before we get started, I just want to ask, why have a presence in downtown Detroit, especially now after all the change we've had with work and with offices?
Yeah, I think, having an office downtown, especially if you're a business that's more services oriented, so it's not a hospital or manufacturing plant, it's where you have a lot of flexibility in terms of where you can be. I think the workplace has been changing over the last 10 years where it's a lot more attractive for the workforce to work in an area where you get all the amenities of downtown. And especially if you're able to help out with things like parking downtown and subsidizing some of that, it's going to really help you with driving a lot more talent towards your business, as well as keeping that talent engaged and having a different level of energy in that workplace compared to the cubicle farms of yesteryear.
So I think if you're going to do something, do it with passion. And one of my reasons for being downtown Detroit is that passion. Not only is Detroit the heart of Michigan, my grandfather was a Detroit firefighter for 30 years. And really being in the heart of downtown Detroit, just a block from Campus Marshes, was a huge priority to me to be part of the revitalization of one of America's great cities. And it also afforded my team to be involved in the restoration of a nationally historic building that had been abandoned for 17 years. So we really wanted to be a part of the change that you're seeing in Detroit.
Yeah, thank you guys. And for Bamboo, we chose downtown Detroit. We're in a local, Black-owned, historic building so that we could create accessible workspace, meeting space, and really help build the entrepreneurial community. So during the pandemic, a lot of people went virtual, hybrid, and now I think people are starting to intentionally come back together. Ashok, I'd love to hear from you. How do you provide flexibility for your team? Like, when do you decide to bring a mostly remote team? For those who don't know, Ashok has a pretty large technology company, I think 40, 50, 60 team members. You kept hiring and growing and hiring talent from all over now, but still keeping that presence in Detroit. So how do you balance bringing your team together intentionally?
Yeah, I think going remote, we were all forced into it. Staying remote was a decision that we were more biased towards as a tech company. And that's just a state of the technology density, right? Like if you look at the lovely presenters we have here and the sponsors with the booths, very few tech companies here. And that's also reflected in the available talent here. I think Glenn here from the chamber is doing a lot of great work to change that. But for now and here, it made sense for us to take advantage of the access that we had to talent across the country and not just in Detroit, as much as we want Detroit to be home. And it's not a matter of just going remote and staying remote, and we're always talking heads on Zoom either, right? Because we can't ever digitize the connection that comes from sharing energy in a place like we are right now. So we had a couple of options. It was, let's stay hiring people that can drive to Detroit-ish and tell them to come in on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And we thought about it, and we kind of realized very quickly after a little bit of analysis that if we were going to have people come in and sit in and write code or go to the regular meetings or come in and be on Zoom calls from an office after they've had to arrange for childcare and sit through the commute and all that stuff, it'll probably upset people a fair amount. So instead now we get together for very specific milestones in our work. So we look at new employee onboarding and make sure that within the first 6 months, they're meeting with the rest of the team. We spend over 6 figures now, instead of spending it on a big office that we had, we spend it on internal conferences. And so we have everyone come in and we get people together at Huntington Place, and it's an opportunity for folks to come in from all over the country, and we get to show Detroit off to our own people. And we look forward to having that conference be open to external folks too, as we get better at it.
Is there anything they're surprised about when they come in all the way from, where's the farthest they come in at, and what do they think about Detroit when they get here?
I think all over, we got folks from California on the team, which might be like, in terms of flight time, in terms of borders, we got some Canadian folks too, given my Canadian background. I think the last time we did it was mid-May, and we were just blessed with amazing weather. It was, I'm trying to convert to Fahrenheit, but it was warm, I'll just say. We also, that week, there was a Tigers game on, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on in the city, so everyone was surprised about how vibrant the city was. We put everyone up at the Foundation Hotel. It's convenient when you're at Huntington Place. And folks were really surprised about like calling their spouses back at home about, hey, like, you won't believe what happened in Detroit. And so I think like that vibrant energy is something that I don't think we're quite telling the story well enough, or it's maybe hard to tell the story enough and you have to be here to really experience it. Those are a couple of things that come to mind.
Yeah, energy, like what you're experiencing right now, it's hard to tell people about. Totally agree. At Bamboo, we really believe the future is more flexible than ever before. So we're still working. We're working in all these different ways. We're more intentional about why we come together. As you can hear from Ashok, spending way more budget on team events, maybe even curating events and participating in events like this. Whitney, why don't you talk to us more about design? Like, how could an office be done right? And what might have changed or hasn't changed post-COVID?
Sure. I think the office done right, it is never done. We've learned the last few years the only constant is change. And so the office should never be done. It should be constantly evolving, not just to fit the needs of the different generations and the different types of individuals that need to do their jobs, but also there's no one-size-fits-all solution for a workplace. We do hospital systems, we do educational systems, and for example, the needs and requirements of an operating room are very different from the needs and requirements of a patient room in a hospital. So good design really takes into account the type of work that needs to be done for the type of individuals doing that work. And I think one thing that has changed from COVID is we think a lot about people coming to the office to be together, but how many of you who had young children at home and had to be their teachers during COVID needed a place to go that was quiet. The office should have a good balance of breakaway spaces where, whether it's a mother returning to work and they can do their job successfully while being a mother, or you need to take a private call with a doctor's office, it needs to be a balance of what the people who work there need. I think if you put the people who are working there first before the motives of the company or the colors of the furniture, that is what you need to do to get your people wanting to come to the office.
So both of you talk a lot about people, and that's driving, like, whether it's talent or creating that space intentionally. I think that's very interesting because at Bamboo, we're seeing all kinds of people coming back into a flexible environment because it's enabling these different styles, these different choices. But it's really the energy and the sense of community and the sense of culture that people really want that you can get in all these different ways that you just can't, it's not the same in front of a screen. It's why everybody is here today, right now. So this conference is about the future of downtown, and we know you guys have been talking about that all day. One thing I'm hopeful for is to see more events, more energy, more companies having a presence. We know that'll change, but right now we're seeing more people downsize large companies into co-working. But we also saw the last couple years, our suburban location filled up instantly, and Detroit was slow. I mean, foot traffic down here was half of what it was during the day. And just now, I would say, it's starting to return. So I'm hopeful for more of that. I think we just need to intentionally invest in our downtowns if we want our small businesses, our ecosystem, and our talent and community to thrive. So Ashok and Whitney, as we start to wrap up and let everyone go back to their drinks, just want to hear what's one thing you're either personally or professionally hopeful for the future of downtown?
I think it's maybe like a plug for you. Like if you're thinking about your office is in Farmington Hills and what's it going to be like to move to downtown Detroit, and that feels like a big decision, like start out at a co-working space. Have an event there once a week or once a month. Bring your folks in, get really good food that's available downtown. And I think it's going to be really surprising for a lot of folks about how much more accessible and safe and vibrant and energetic it is. And you let your people tell you where they prefer working. And if you're trying to force people back into the office, you might need to think a little bit more about what's so fun about your office. And the chances are Amanda and downtown offices are going to make that a lot easier for you.
Well, I don't want to ask for too much because we did just have the filming of Beverly Hills Cops 4 here in downtown Detroit, so I'm feeling pretty lucky. That aside, some of the things I hope for Detroit, as I'm currently living and working in downtown Detroit, is accessibility of housing for all income levels. I hear from a lot of my employees, I would love to live downtown. I can't wait to move downtown. But it's actually pretty expensive to rent downtown right now. So I think more diversity in the housing options downtown, because what I would really like to see is more people living, working, celebrating family events. They really need to do all life activities downtown. The business community, I feel, is strong, but I'd love to see more people living there. Suburbs are great too, but downtown is beautiful. It's the heart. And then also, I think we need to have a downtown Detroit partnership and Campus Martias do a watch party for Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cops 4. I mean, that would be fun.
One other thing I'm going to add is the details and the experience of coming downtown. So, we talked about not as many tech companies present. One tech company at Bamboo that's hiring dozens of people right now, they're not hiring in Detroit because they're still navigating like affordable parking, affordable housing, The CEO was mentioning how when he gets a ticket, it's $45. So even thinking through these little things like how are people parking in the neighborhood and how can we make that easier, I think that that's super, super helpful to keeping jobs downtown. So as we wrap up, thank you guys for hearing a little teaser of the future of the office and design. Go ahead, Ashok.
I do have a little bit of a shameless plug, especially if you work in tech, if you're a software engineer, software designer, product manager. I know a lot of you have been affected by the layoffs in big tech recently. Integral is still hiring. Integral.io. Check out our careers page. Hit me up, and I'd be happy to see what we could do.
Well, that was what I was going to ask. How can everyone connect with you guys? So you just heard the website. Whitney, how can we stay connected to you?
My team is back in the office 5 days a week, and it's actually not a policy. They like to be there, I hope. We are located across from the iconic American Coney and Lafayette Coney Island. So we are right there a block away from Campus Marshes. So feel free to stop by. And if you are wondering about your own office space and your back to work plan, we do make appointments and we help businesses of all types think through what is the most effective way to plan for your office of the future.
It's a really beautiful space. So
it is a very beautiful space.
Go check it out if you're by there. It's just one of the, I take people there for tours all the time, and your people probably wonder why this guy's back again and not talking to anyone. It's just a lovely office.
Thank you for that.
And for Bamboo, you guys can check us out at bamboodetroit.com. We have lots of community events. All of our events are back. We do tours Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we can help you think through, like Ashok said, testing out a presence, starting to just come back together again, or for larger tenants, how to downsize into more flexible workspaces. So thank you guys for having us. Go enjoy your drinks. We'll be around if you have questions. Thank you so much.